Welcome to the Museum of Graffiti. My name is Alan Kett. I am here with none other than PhD.
Yep. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. We are sitting in your room,
Your room.
my room, your room. This is a piece of art, a mural that you painted inside the building that we've been living with for the past few years. Uh, can you tell me a little bit about the the design? What is it? What'd you make here?
Oh man, so this one kind of unfolded on itself, and it's becoming like one of my favorite pieces. The real background behind this, to be frank, because I was gonna do some sugary portrait or something, and I remember sending Allison mock-ups and like different things. She's like, "No, I don't know about this one," and I'm trying to give her what she needs, and at that point in time, you guys had a press day for the new opening, and it was really essential to complete the building, right? So it was basically a way that I could help you guys just get this done in time originally. So as I started sending Allison the different designs, she was leaning towards this rooftop scene, and I mean, I'll be honest, she kind of like steered me this way. But what I do know, and being a writer in the community for some time, is that whenever anybody sets the standard or a precedent, whether that be a book or a museum, some sort of official record of the culture, it's always divisive. So some guys that aren't represented are going to talk shit, or they'll be like, you know what, who are they to say, how are they the experts? They're not talking about this guy and yah. And I've seen that. And I know that those writers with those ideas are feeling pain. They're feeling left out. They're feeling like their contributions are not being validated. And that was a problem for me. So what I love about this wall and what it represents is that every artist, sanctioned or not, whether or not they've been curated by you, anybody that's a villain that's putting the work in, I tried my best to have them represented on the wall. So as exciting as it is for me to bring my baby brother and my mom and my family and be able to point at my fucking name in this place, it fills me with a tremendous amount of pride. But I want all these boys, all of us, to be able to walk up in here and be like, yo, this is me, whether or not it was sanctioned, because that's the respect I have for the work that they put in, period. And I also have to mention our boy Giz, another friend. I really lean on his expertise New York-wise. And I'm born in New York, but my work is primarily down here. And I wanted New York to be properly represented in the same way that I was going through all the Florida hitters, all these guys. So big shout out to Giz. He made sure guys like J.A., all the people that needed to be in this thing, he ensured that I didn't miss the mark in terms of New York. So super grateful, super talented guy. You need to follow him. He's incredible. So yeah, it started off as a way that I could just give you guys something and, just help you guys stopgap this situation. But it's turned into the craziest thing, like George Clinton signing the wall. I see this Zephyr one just jumps out at me every time I look at this thing. I mean, like, some of the names on here are truly amazing, And so kind of like the icing on the cake was having my big homie Mir sign this thing. I was getting kind of emotional, And so I'm getting emotional now. I'm such a tremendous fan of Mir One, and what he's done for me personally cannot be measured. And like, I'm a pleb. I'm a squid compared to this man, And to see him actually signing my work was a real head fuck. I was like, this is crazy, And but also seeing everybody sitting down talking in front of it, and like it's just for the Mew and what you got going on here, Alan. Like, I just don't think we could have made this any better. And I think about like when you guys move to bigger and brighter, like how are you gonna keep this thing, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like
It's a
dry.
problem.
Oh man, it is.
It's a problem.
It's drywall. It's this or that. But it would like I don't know. This would be a tough one to just bin when you're done. You know. So
It really is. I think you outdid yourself with this. You know, we wanted an environment. We wanted, this originally started off as a place for VR,
correct.
right? And so the billboard up there, the screen is our VR moment. People stand here and interact, right? You see them with their goggles on or whatever, and they're interacting. They're in an environment. So when it's photographed, it's an incredible photograph for whoever's, here. Just like for us right now, you see this, and it's a great sort of set, so to speak. But I love that. Number one, when you were painting it, that you were very aware and very conscious of who to give props to, and including so many people that you may or may not even know.
No, I don't.
Right? And I think of doing the Rambo tribute up there on the top of the building, the Shadow Vandals Echo, which was on the outside of this building, actually.
Crazy.
And all these little tributes. I mean, to me, this is a tribute, that really shows your love for this movement, for your love for the community.
It's just like this building that got hit recently for Art Basel.
Yes.
Literally, it's almost like 5 points, or like one of these places where the people put it together, and it's kind of like a monument to the culture at large. And so the fact that this is like a little mini microcosm of that same ideology is awesome. And when you're talking about the VR, Alan, I thought it was really generous of you guys allowing people to participate that may or may not have any skin in the game, So it's weird to think that some young kid might have been in here, got inspired, but could actually like walk in this little place and do a tag, and like what does that do for that individual in terms of their journey? And I think that's huge, because no one did that stuff for me. I mean, come on, when we grew up, there was no Museum of Graffiti. There was just like abject pain, and you really had to like look out. And that's one of the things I love that's changed the most, is there's like a little bit less beef and animosity and all that kind of stuff. And so the younger kids have a way bigger springboard to take it further than we did, And when I look at your collection, Alan, like a lot of people see modern graph styles, and then they'll look at a piece like Blade, right? And they'll be like, oh, this is so rudimentary or simple, but in its context, this guy is groundbreaking. I mean, literally the tip of the fucking sword. But then I do look at the modern styles and how far they've progressed in terms of technique, and like what people can do with cans is incredible now. But like, what is that next level, right? Like, what are these kids gonna how are they gonna elevate it in the same way that we did? And it's exciting to me, because you just don't know how they're gonna freak that, and somebody's gonna come out as a front runner and just blow us all away. And like, it'd be really cool to think that you had influence in this, in terms of like allowing people to be themselves.
It's probably going to be one of those 7-year-olds that are at the graffiti class here on Sunday mornings that are going to be taking it to the next level. So, and I really am deeply in gratitude that we can do that.
Unreal.
Week after week after week, bring families in, bring kids in, teach them, have them be part of this, and then on top of that, have members of our community, the artists, come in as well, and not only be celebrated, but bring their families in,
Inclusivity.
I look around, most of the stuff on this wall is not sanctioned, right?
Which
It's
is cool too,
it's people
like
sneaking it in.
they can't help it. They walk by it.
They want to be a part of it. I mean, I see all kinds of people like, BTM crew here at the bottom, as an example. Popo, who I know from Brooklyn from back in the days. I mean, there's so many names that pop out, but they needed to be down. They wanted.
But I love it, right? So right? Like, I come back and I look to see for new ones. I really, really do. This year, there's a Miami legend. If you guys aren't unfamiliar, is a guy named Sinner. And in terms of graffiti, I have tremendous respect for Sinner. Not only was he like one of these founding father type guys, but I used to buy paint from him back in the day, et cetera. And so he came up and got up on the wall, which was like So Sinner's like the big bad mean OG, like amazing, like did it all. Everyone respects him, you know. And so for him to be like pumped on getting his name on this thing, it was another good one. So, you know, he's been consistent with the letters, and you know, some people really they just carry on regardless of the situation, right? Like so, like 004s. I've always had a tremendous amount of respect for them, you know, because it's not like every huge commercial wall that comes across, they're getting a piece of it or this or that, or, you know, like they've always just been fine being themselves and kind of loving the culture. And it's not about fame, economy of scale, money. It's just being down. And so I love those kind of people because, especially in the context of all this hoopla and, you know, media fire and parties and all, like it, that doesn't even register in their value system, right? And the things that they were doing back then are the same things they're doing now, the same things that fill them and nourish their souls. And I love the guys that they don't gotta play the game, they are the game.
Putting in the work.
Facts.
You got to put in the work. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you, bad
Thank
boy.
you for your time. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. PhD, big up to you. And
Super grateful.
talk to
Go
you
check
soon.
out that mirror event. You guys definitely need to come down to the museum to see these Mirror One paintings, and check the schedule too, because Alan and Allison have put together something here that is so crazy. There is something for absolutely everybody. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what you're even interested in. And now with this hip hop museum exploding, like there is literally something for everybody. So come down here, man. Get involved. That's what this is all about.
Do it. Thank you.